Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I see some family members hopping in the Zoom, getting logged into our webinar. So we will just go ahead and give it a few more minutes, let everyone get settled in and get logged in, and we'll get started in just a few minutes. All right, it looks like most family members have joined us, so we will go ahead and get started. So good evening, everyone. Thank you again for joining us for our final session of the Tennessee Family Series. We are just so excited that your student has decided to become a vol, and we cannot wait to welcome you and your student to our Tennessee family. My name is Johnny Logue. I work with the Office of New Student Orientation. And tonight we will be talking about life on Rocky Top and what your student can expect with move-in day, really in just a few days. We have some fantastic UT staff members here from the Center for Student Engagement, the Dean of Students, Student Government Association, as well as the UT Police Department. So I know they are excited to get your questions answered tonight. Family members, you are welcome to start entering your questions in the Q&A below. You can use that button. There's a slide posted about how to find that Q&A feature. We just ask that tonight you keep your questions related to tonight's topic and that you don't resubmit your questions. We promise we are working hard behind the scenes to get your questions answered, whether that is live by one of our panelists or by responding directly to you in the chat. We do have a team working hard behind the scenes to respond directly. So if we do answer your question by chat, you can find those responses using the All tab or the My Questions tab as they are answered. And then finally, at the end of tonight's session, we will also share all of the contact information for the areas and offices represented tonight, so you can reach out to them directly if you still have questions. So before we begin, I will allow our panelists to start introducing themselves and talking about the office that they represent. So without further ado, I will have Brad kick us off and introduce himself in the Center for Student Engagement.
Hey everybody, it's an honor to be here tonight with everyone. My name is Brad Ward. I am the Assistant Director of the Center for Student Engagement. My primary oversight for our office is the recognized student organization process. So just the management of our platform, referred to as VolLink, and any kind of RSO management, so student groups on campus. So we oversee that process under my purview, and I'm also in charge of homecoming initiatives. So just any kind of homecoming initiative on campus, trying to just coordinate all of that for our alumni and our students. So thank you for having me tonight.
Byron, if you want to go ahead and kick us off next.
Sure. Thanks, Johnny. Good evening, everyone. I'm Byron Hughes. I get to serve as Assistant Vice Chancellor and Dean of Students, and I am thrilled to be with you all. Welcome to Rocky Top, and looking forward to seeing you all here in I guess, a few short days. But in my role, I get the opportunity to work with a large group of people within the Division of Student Life that are thinking a lot about mattering and belonging, advocacy, support through multiple areas in which we kind of help your student thrive and flourish personally, socially, and academically here. I also happen to work very closely with the Family Experience team that is part of hosting this webinar series throughout the summer. So again, excited to hear your questions and to dialogue certainly this evening about how we can best support you and your student in the upcoming year and the time to come after that.
Awesome. Mark, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself and Student Government Association.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Hancock. I am a senior from Brentwood, Tennessee, studying political science with a concentration in international affairs. And I have the honor of serving as student body president at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. So with my role, I oversee SGA, which stands for Student Government Association. And SGA is one of the largest student organizations on UT. And we have 5 branches that deal with programming and advocating for student needs. And I also work closely with administration at UT to help solve student issues.
Awesome. Sergeant Williams, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself next.
Hello, everyone. I am Sergeant Mike Williams with the University of Tennessee Police Department, and we are looking forward to having students back this fall. And I'm here tonight to answer any safety-related questions you might have about campus.
And then in addition to kind of moderating our family series tonight, I also, like I said, work for the Office of New Student Orientation. So if you have any questions about Big Orange Welcome that is coming up in just a few days, feel free to put those in the chat as well. I'm happy to answer some questions about what to expect out of Big Orange Welcome and kind of the new fall orientation experience. So I will kick us off with our very first question for our panelists. It is for all of you. With move-in just right around the corner, what are some traditions or experiences that students can look forward to participating in this fall semester?
I can go ahead and kick it off. Obviously, for me, being an alumni of the college, but also coming back and working here, I would be remiss to not say homecoming. I mean, it's my first time this year being in charge of homecoming. I'm really excited to just bring a week full of traditions, not only for our students, but also our alumni who are coming into town. We're playing UConn. The whole week is just slated with really cool events that we hope students will really look forward to, and also our alumni as well. That week is October 29th through November 4th. We're going to play UConn on November 4th. So I'm just really looking forward to that. It's a really awesome tradition that we get to have every year, and it's always full of excitement for UT students and alumni. So really looking forward to that.
Let's all hop in here. You know, I have been here at the University of Tennessee for a year. So really this past first year was essentially my first year experience, just like our students will experience over the course of the year. So one of the very first 2 events that I got a chance to be part of, one was Balls of Earth Night, which occurs during Big Orange Welcome. And it's just a great evening of really, truly pulling together what we mean when we say, what does it mean to be a ball, and what does it mean to take care of each other and take care of yourself, and really give your all for Tennessee in some of the best and most positive ways. But to have all our new students together in the arena for that event was a wonderful time. And then that was followed by Torch Night, which maybe Mark might go into a little bit more, certainly as a tradition, but really just this first day when you get the chance to really think about, wow, like what does it mean to be a torchbearer? And we will have Mark there as our Student Government Association president that will be there alongside our chancellor and our vice chancellor for student life, and will literally pass the torch to, you know, the brand new students. But it's a night of really jumping into the tradition of what it means to be at the University of Tennessee. So by the time Torch Night happened last summer, I had been here for about 2 months at that point. But it wasn't until that night that I really felt like, oh, this is what it means to be part of the University of Tennessee and what it means to be on Rocky Top. So those are a couple that I would say. Certainly Milkshake Mondays are a great tradition also. And so you can visit me and certainly my team and our colleagues on different Mondays throughout the academic year. And we give you a milkshake and a handshake and a good hello. So those are just a couple ones that I've enjoyed learning about over the past year.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Torch Night as well. And one of my favorite traditions is going to be Slap the Rock. So Slap the Rock is an event that is put on by Student Government Association. And so this year it's going to be on September 1st. And for those of you that don't know, the Rock is located near Stokely Hall in the Haslam Music Center. And it's basically like the messaging board of campus. And so for Slap the Rock, SGA is out there. We have music and snacks. And students can come and you can paint your hand and you can go up and slap the rock. And it's this huge tradition to come, and all freshmen are invited, and also upperclassmen can come out. So it's just a great event for the whole UT community to come and be together at the Rock. So it's a really special time, and I really hope to see all of you guys out there.
So I'm a football fan, so I would be remiss if I did not mention football game days. From the Vol Walk to the Pride of the Southland Band, the entire pageantry of a football game day here at the University of Tennessee is an awesome and fun tradition, and I can't wait for students to experience that for the first time.
We don't do anything small at the University of Tennessee, whether that's game day or torch night. I would say torch night is one of my favorite traditions that I'm looking forward to, again, because that's part of your orientation experience. So I have a hand and a role in putting on that program for our new students. And it's just so rewarding to see everyone come together and officially be welcomed as a volunteer for the first time. But with that, we already have a question kind of about the requirements for new students. So we do have some required programs during Big Orange Welcome for our new students. Now, these requirements are called Vol Essentials, and they are separated based on your classification. So if you are a first-year student, you have different requirements than transfer students and then our veteran students. So we do ask that all of our students participate in Torch Night. This is for every student, no matter your classification. But veteran and transfer students, we have streamlined your requirements. All of your required programs will happen on Sunday, August 20th. We know that it can be a big ask to ask you to come to campus, whether you're a family member or you're traveling or commuting to campus. So we wanted to make this accessible for you and really give you one day to welcome you to campus before the first day of classes. And then for many of our first year students, we have spread out your requirements across several different days. So if you were looking for kind of a breakdown, we have been sending you emails. You can also find all of that information on our website. It is orientation.utk.edu. But that is kind of my spiel real quickly, just on some required programs. I will go ahead and start asking some more questions. So Brad, my next question is for you, kind of about involvement. You talked a lot about some student orgs and getting students connected. So just really generally, what is the best way for students to get connected and get involved on campus?
Yeah, that's a really great question. Obviously, the Center for Student Engagement is a pretty broad range of different things that we can do through involvement on campus. So we kind of look at it in a couple of different lenses. So obviously we have the connected side, and that's more of our event piece of the Center for Student Engagement. So I think CSE hosted 100+ events last year. So there's a wide range of things that students can go to. And that's basically once that 6-week period, those weeks of welcome ends, we kind of pick up on that end and start doing things throughout the year. So we have a full calendar of events that students can go to, and we basically tell them to go to UTK CSE on Instagram. So it's it's easily updated. It's just new and fresh, and we put things on there all the time. We're also sending out calendars for them, so they'll have a kind of a little calendar of events that'll look like this when they move in. It'll just have our first August and September dates and things we're going to do as an office. And then we have a get involved side. So that's kind of the side that I oversee. So we have 470 student organizations and growing all the time. So we house all those under our office, and the main platform that we use right now to house all of those organizations is called Volunteer. So if students are interested in getting involved on campus, they could do it multiple ways. So they can go to Vollink, kind of type in their interest of what they want to see or what they want to get involved in, and it'll populate with just different organizations that have that interest, that similar interest. So say they wanted to get involved with like the chess club for some reason, for like just any kind of reason they want to get involved with the chess club. They can go to the chess club's Vollink page and see their president and kind of their hours when they meet. And then they can go contact that president and just see if they can come to a meeting. That's a really easy example. Another one is they can come to our student engagement fair. That's on the 23rd of August, or 24th of August, from 4 to 6 p.m. on what we call pedestrian walkway. Student groups will be lined down our whole walkway, just ready and waiting to talk to students and get them involved in their organization. And then at the end of the day, they can always come to our office. We're in the Union, room 174. They can pop in at any time. We have students called SEAs, Student Engagement Ambassadors, that are ready at any time to talk to a student about getting involved. They also work our front desk, so they're always here. So there's a lot of different opportunities to get involved for students and a lot of different ways to do it. So that's kind of the long and the short of it.
Awesome. Thank you, Brad. Byron, my next question is for you. So you gave a quick introduction of the Dean of Students office in your intro, but would you mind just kind of expanding on some of the different resources and services that the Dean of Students provides both to students and family members?
Absolutely, Johnny. One of the ways that we like to refer to the Office of Dean of Students is that it's a place to start. And it's a place to start for our students. It's a place to start for our families. And quite honestly, really for any one of our colleagues or partners throughout the university that are looking to figure out how do we help a student. Why that's important is because the University of Tennessee is a very large place. And sometimes you just need to know, where do I go to get to where I need to be? And sometimes you may have a question or an issue that may cut across several different offices. And so we're going to be the folks in the Office of the Dean of Students that are going to really help journey with you through whatever that need might be. We might just be connecting you to someone else in a very warm and caring type of way, or we may actually stay in it with you to try to figure out how do we get an answer for you or to help you get the answer that you're looking for. More specifically, too, that may also look like consultations around anything from, whether it's certainly, related to Brad's area, for example. I want to be involved, but I'm not exactly sure which way I need to go and where I want to be and what's for me here in this large community. Or it might be, I'm looking for a particular population or community of students here at UT that aligns with an identity or a tradition or a belief that I hold. And I want to know how I get to those individuals. And so we can work through that. We have many students that also have basic needs that pop up along the way where those, some sort of financial insecurity or housing insecurity or food insecurity needs to be assisted with. And we have something called the Big Orange Pantry, because you will quickly notice that nothing on our campus goes without a name that is tied to being orange, or maybe even Rocky Top for that matter. So we have a Big Orange Pantry where students can come and, without any sort of check-in service or registration process, you get what you need to eat and you take it with you. So there are just so many different ways that are reasons really that a student or their family might decide, hey, we need to check in or connect with our Office of the Dean of Students. One of the things that we know is that a place that is as large as the University of Tennessee, that there are going to be many resources that are here, but sometimes there are so many resources for you that you may not actually know which one is actually for me. Or you move off campus, as many of you all will after your first year, or even as a new transfer student, of course, you may be off campus, or a graduate student. And you're wondering, who is there? I'm not exactly sure what's for me here and what's not for me. So we're a place to start, and we work very closely with all of our colleagues throughout the institution to be able to make sure, again, that our students will flourish. And again, if we don't have the answer, we will quickly get it for you or as quickly as we can, get it for you from whoever needs to be of help to you.
Thank you so much. Mark, again, I know you expanded a little bit on SGA and what Student Government Association provides, but if a student is looking to get involved in SGA, is that something they can do as a first-year student? And if so, how might they go about getting involved?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So for the majority of SGA's branches, we recruit year-round. So the best way for incoming first-year students, we have a branch called the First Year Leadership Council, which is only for first-year students, and it helps teach leadership skills to incoming students, and it also just provides an introduction to what it's like to be a first-year student, kind of learn some of the traditions and history of UT, and it also gives them the opportunity to put on events for first-year students and also the larger UT community. And it also gives them the opportunity to dive into some of the other branches in SGA if they're interested in continuing later on. So that's going to be the first way that incoming first year students can get involved. And the application for that is currently open, and that is on our website. You can just go to utksga.com, and under the First Year Leadership Council tab, the application is located there. And then the next opportunity for students to get involved is going to be our Student Services branch. And so our Student Services branch is the largest branch of SGA. And we have around 8 or 9 committees that all do programming for students. So some of them, for example, are like the Health and Wellness Committee, Environment Sustainability, Academic Affairs, Diversity Affairs. So we have topics that kind of range for whatever students are interested in. And so those applications are going to be open year round as well. And those applications are going to be on the website. And I believe Todd just put it in the chat. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Sergeant Williams, again, just kind of a broad general question for you as well, but what types of services does UTPD provide to the campus and to our students?
So we are always here on this campus. We're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's always a police presence around. Some of the programs we offer are a women's self-defense class called RAD. We offer that free to students as well as the community. For our community classes, we'll be having 2 of those classes this fall. If that is something you'd be interested in signing up for, you can go to our website, utpolice.utk.edu. We also offer that class as a PE class in the spring semester, and students can sign up for that just like they would any other class. But we always have patrol officers out on this campus. Anywhere from 5 to 8 officers will be out at a time. We can get around campus very quickly, and we have law enforcement authority on campus as well as off campus. So your students will see us around. We love to engage with students in conversation and just see how they're doing, what their major is, where they're from. We love to socialize with our students on campus. So if they see us out, encourage them to talk to us because we love having that engagement.
Awesome. Thank you, Sergeant Williams. Before I jump back into another question, I do just want to add all of the big Orange Welcome events that I referenced earlier, whether that's our required programs, our Vol Essentials, or the hundreds of events happening throughout the rest of the 6 weeks are available on our Vol Life app. So if your student hasn't done so already, encourage them to download that app. Once they download it, they can log in, they can create an account with their UT email, and then they can download the Big Orange Welcome Guide and they can view every single event we have happening. There's also a tab that lists out first year requirements, transfer requirements. So whatever population they fall into, they can click that, they can see the list of every single event. It will give them all of the details about the program, whether that is time, location, kind of what to expect, what they should bring. For many of the required programs, we do ask that the student comes prepared with their Vol card that is downloaded on their phone. So if they're bringing their phone with them, which I imagine they already have that with them. But we will be scanning into all of our required events. So that is something that students will want to remember to bring. All right, Brad, we'll head back to you. So again, we've already chatted a little bit about involvement, but we know that students take many different approaches to involvement. Some get involved with many things really quickly. Some might take time. Some might pick one club and organization and really dedicate that. So understanding that there's just a lot of different approaches to involvement, what advice do you have to a student who might not know exactly the best way to get involved?
Yeah, like you said, Johnny, it varies. I mean, there's students that come in, we see it all the time, that they get involved in every single thing they can possible. And again, I was talking to some RAs today, and they have students that come in that get involved in maybe one thing and stick to that their whole career. So it really varies. What we encourage is to do what you are able to do within your own capacity. Students get in and they get really excited, and we understand that. We love the excitement. We love to have them get involved, but we don't want them to stretch themselves too thin. We encourage you to get involved as much as you can. So if it's easy as starting out and just kind of seeing what you like and what your interests are, do that. We encourage you not to spread yourself thin at any point in time, because not only do we want you to get involved, with us and those kind of extracurricular activities, those co-curricular activities, but we also want you to make good grades and, graduate college at the end of the day. That's what's important. We feel like building those two, that academic side and that event side, or that activity side, involvement side rather, is just a perfect marriage for having just the best opportunity at UT. So just doing really well in both of those is extremely important to us. And we'd tell you that anybody that walks into the CSE. So if you have a student that is really happy to get involved, have them come into the office and talk to us. We'll talk to you at any point in time about involvement. We love talking about it. A lot of our staff have different areas of expertise. So odds are, if there's a student that needs something in particular, we can find them the right answer for it. So I say all that to say, we want you to get involved as much as you can, but as much as your capacity will allow you to. So we encourage you to kind of take it easy and fill it out. And then once you get more established at UT, start to really think about all the things you can get involved in.
Hey, Johnny, could I add to that?
Yes.
So one of the things that I know that, and this may come up in question from you or potentially from one of our families or students, is, we have our students take the Clifton Strengths assessment, as they're coming into UT. And I've also found too that that's a great tool to be able to use to start thinking about where you might spend your time, particularly when you're thinking about being involved. So, that the idea, of course, behind that assessment is it's telling you what you're naturally good at, the things that will really probably energize you, the way that your leadership will show up, particularly in organizations and around groups of people. So I think along with what Brad has just shared about finding the things that you care most deeply about and working to your capacity, work to your capacity and work according to your strengths too. So we don't have our students take that inventory just to be able to have those 5 strengths that, they might put up on their wall or outside of their room door, in a residence hall, or list out in their email signature. It's really supposed to guide the way that you choose to experience the University of Tennessee, which is an individualized journey. Certainly when we think about the way that I should experience it, if I'm a student here, it should be different than the way that Mark or Brad or, anyone would really experience it. So you make those choices and their decisions based off of those strengths. And whether it is Brad's team or it's our team in the Office of Dean of Students, or it's your academic advisor or anyone who understands the way that Clifton Strengths works, they can sit down and they can do the coaching with you to help you think about, let me make some decisions based off of my strengths, my talents, what am I naturally good at? And again, what's going to give me most energy and connect me most with the things that, will really make me grow as a person and help the University of Tennessee grow too.
I'll add on to that really quick. One of the coordinators in our office is trained in Clifton Strengths and absolutely loves to talk about it. She will talk about it with anybody that comes into her door. She's really awesome about being able to look at your strengths and talk to you about it and explain them in a deeper level than maybe what's just on the surface of reading it. So it's a really awesome ability and something that we're happy to do in our office as well.
Awesome. Thank you both for sharing. Involvement and engagement and finding that community is definitely not a one-size-fits-all approach. And like Byron said, your strengths that, again, you will hear a lot about throughout your time, your Clifton Strengths. You'll hear a lot about it through your first year and really through all 4 years here at UT. And really, you should take those strengths beyond. We hope that it's something that helps guide your career here at UT and beyond as you look ahead to where your education takes you. So definitely not a one-size-fits-all approach. We understand that every student has a unique journey and we're here to celebrate that and help you kind of find your way. So thank you both for answering that. I really appreciate your perspective there. Mark, I will go ahead and kind of jump to you and ask you to expand a little bit too. So from the student perspective, it's so exciting to have you here and get to hear from a current student about how your transition was. How did you get involved and kind of find your place and make UT feel like home?
Yeah, so coming into UT as a first-year student, my experience was a little bit different just because when I came in, it was 2020, so COVID was still around. So it was a little bit harder for me to kind of get involved, but the orientation office still did a lot of events virtually, and that's kind of how I found my place on Rocky Top. And so I kind of went on Vollink and also the resources that the Office of Orientation gave me, and got involved in a few organizations. So the first one I got involved in was SGA. And so I was involved in the First Year Leadership Council my freshman year. And that was just an amazing organization for me because it allowed me to meet other first year students who also had similar interests as me. And then I also got involved in two other organizations in the Office of Multicultural Organizations. So those were the main avenues that I kind of went down. And getting involved was probably the best decision for me. It allowed me to meet a lot of friends that I have still to this day. And it also allowed me to make connections with a lot of administration, staff members, and faculty that I normally probably wouldn't have been able to meet with. So I guess that's my biggest advice is just the resources are out there. So just try and look into what you're passionate about or what you're interested in, and just try it. Even if it turns out you don't like it, still just go out and try it. And there's so many different organizations at UT that you're definitely going to find your place. So.
Awesome. Thanks for adding. There's definitely something for everyone, and failure, I mean, you're not going to fail. Failure is not an option. We will not allow you to fail, but like trying new things and, if you fall down, we'll help pick you up, but it is okay to try something, realize it's not for you, and try something new. All right, Sergeant Williams, I've got 2 questions for you. The first one is quick. Would you mind repeating the name of the class that will be offered in the spring?
So the class is called RAD, which stands for Rape, Aggression, Defense. It is PE 243. And you sign up for it just like you would any other class. We also have 2 community classes offered this fall. One is in September and one is October. So if any student wants to sign up for that and take it without the PE credit, they are welcome to do so.
Awesome. And then my second question is, how can a student stay safe? How can they make sure that they are safe on this campus?
So there's 3 things that I always recommend to students. Number 1, always be aware of your surroundings. Know who is around you, know what is going on around you. And that also requires that you're not glued to your phone while you're out walking around. Keep your eyes open, keep your ears open. Number 2, I would say lock up your stuff. Our most common crime on campus is theft. Lock your car doors. If you bring a bike to campus, lock your bike to a bike rack. And number 3, don't leave your stuff unattended. If you leave your things out and walk away from them, there is a good chance they won't be there when you come back. So those 3 things can help keep a student from being a victim of a crime on campus. Something else I've got to mention is download LiveSafe. That is our safety and security app. LiveSafe allows you to send a text message to our police department. You can report suspicious activity through the app via text message. You can send us an emergency message through the app. You can also do something called a safe walk through the app. And a safe walk is if a student is walking, say, from Hodges Library back to their residence hall, they can contact anybody in their contact list to virtually watch them walk from Hodges Library back to the residence hall or anywhere on campus. And it gives a little more peace of mind to the student. It definitely gives more peace of mind to parents and guardians if they are the ones that they contact to keep an eye on them while they're walking back. So definitely download LiveSafe. Parents, others can also download LiveSafe as well. It's not restricted just to students.
And then I'll just follow up real quickly. It looks like we have a question in the chat about like potential like mace or tasers. Is that things that students can carry on campus to help them feel safer?
So I can speak legally. Tasers are allowed in the state of Tennessee. There is nothing illegal about having a taser. However, having a taser is against student conduct policy. So you're not supposed to have one on campus. However, Pepper spray you can have on campus as a student. It's legal. It's not a violation of any type of student conduct policy. So I definitely recommend students to have pepper spray with them. It's something you can have. It's cheap. It's easy to use. So I definitely recommend that. You can also have a pocket knife. There is a restriction on the length of that. Again, that is a student conduct policy, not a criminal offense or anything like that. But pepper spray, pocket knives, you can have those type of things on campus.
Awesome. Thank you. I will let you breathe for a second and I'll move on. So Brad, I'm going to head back to you again. We've talked a lot about involvement and I know that your office does so much more than that. So thinking beyond the student organizations and clubs and things like that, I know your office also puts on events for students. So can you tell us about maybe one or two events you're looking forward to this fall? And then also how our students and family members can find the list of every single event that CSE offers?
Yeah. So like I said, kind of in the beginning, we've done probably 95 plus events per year in the office. So there's always something going on. One of our main drivers of those events through our office is a club that we sponsor called the Campus Events Board. It's a pretty big board of just students always working together just to put together really anything you can think of, anything they can dream up, they're trying to do it. Ones that we're looking forward to, obviously, is kind of like our Welcome Back Bash. We've got Make It Take It events, board game nights, concerts, just different things throughout the semester. A bunch of speakers coming through that students have really shared that they're excited about. So we do a lot of surveying and making sure that students are getting what they want and what they're paying for. So they can follow us. Like we said, we're always going to put something like this out for students. This will be in their residence hall when they get there, and then we'll try to put it out just throughout the semester as well. They can go to CEB's Instagram page. They can go to our website. You can go to calendar.utk.edu, I believe, and also see what's going on. We're trying to always populate events through different avenues, so students are always informed. We found through just different types of post-event surveys that students are actually looking a lot at posters. So we're making sure that posters are up and in unique spaces in front of the union so that they'll see the posters. We'll also have QR codes that students can scan. And at any time when they scan those QR codes, they can see what we have coming up. We also found that students are getting on the Instagram. So that's why I mentioned that. But also through VolLink, we have this thing called relays. We can reach out to students, to particular students or the whole student body that's involved in different types of events, and tell them that we have things coming up. So there's all types of avenues that we will take to make sure that students know how to get involved and know what's going on campus.
Awesome. Thank you. And it looks like we have a good bit of family members of transfer students in the chat. So I do just want to clarify really quickly that all of the events at Big Orange Welcome that I am mentioning, all of the organizations and events that Brad is talking about through the Center for Student Engagement, all of the resources that the Dean of Students offer, every single thing we're talking about tonight is available for first year and transfer students. So we will take care of your transfer student as well, and we are happy to support them through this journey. We know that this is just as much of a transition for transfer students as it is first year students, and so every single thing that we are talking about is also available for transfer students.
And if your transfer students have any kind of questions for like the Center for Student Engagement, I will be the person that they can contact with my contact information, which I believe we may have. Are we going to put it out anywhere, or anyways, if not, feel free to email me. They can email me once they get here, or they can go to our website, Center for Student Engagement, or go.utk.edu is what we have it listed under, and I can point them in the right direction.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Brad. As we close out tonight, we will have a slide with all of the contact information, whether that's emails, websites, phone numbers, to reach out to any single one of these staff members. So we will get you that contact information if you do have specific questions. So I appreciate that. All right, Byron, it looks like we also have some family members who are eager to get involved. So are there any opportunities that family members can already start looking into? How can they get involved in this UT community kind of alongside their student?
Sure, and I'm probably gonna be quizzed here, so I'm sure my staff is watching. But one of the wonderful ways, one is our Tennessee Family Hub, and that is really the way that we bring all information to families in one particular space. So once again, good place to start, so you know what your student tends to know, and certainly ways that you can also be involved here in the community and all the things that we do. We also created a Tennessee Family Association, and that is not a membership group that you need to pay into to be part of. It's just simply, hey, I want to be part of the Tennessee Family Association. And then we kind of do extra work there to be able to get information to you and to also invite you to be able to volunteer and assist us. So, our family weekend, fall family weekend, that will happen every single year, but will certainly happen this semester too. We have family ambassadors that are part of the family association who come and they assist us. They host other families and host guests. They also work doors for us and at different events. And sometimes they also volunteer to be resources, certainly to other families. So there can be many different ways. And, not just even through the office of the Dean of the office of the Dean of Students, but there might be other offices as well where your student is involved on campus, where they really want to see families also be participating in certainly the organization in some particular way, shape, or form. But truly, the Tennessee Family Association, there's more information on our website, our family experience website about that. That's one real cool way to, again, not only know what's happening here at UT, but to potentially also become a family ambassador and to assist us. One of the things that we are also looking forward to in the near future is being able to visit with families and allow and work with families to host family receptions, throughout the country, where we can go to a particular area and, work with a family to host other families for an event where some of us would be there to kind of meet and greet with, again, incoming families and incoming students. So, we're building out actually our Tennessee family experience because we know that there are so many people that want to be involved in more ways than just simply coming to bring their student and potentially go to a game with them. But again, we also want you to come out the fall family weekend. And so whether you have purchased a registration ticket or you're just simply going to be here, we have so many events that are being planned for that particular weekend involving colleagues from around the university. You don't have to register to attend most of the events that will occur that weekend. That's a great way also to get connected here to UT.
Awesome. Thank you. Family members, I just want to be mindful of time and recognize that we do just have a few minutes left. So if you do have any last questions for our panelists, please drop those in the Q&A and we will try our best to get to them quickly. Mark, I will head back to you. So it looks like we've got some eager involved students and family members here tonight. So do you have students in SGA that also participate in Greek life? Is that allowed? Is that something that happens often? Can you talk to me kind of about that multiple level of engagement when it comes to being involved in SGA and something else on campus?
Yeah, so when it comes to SGA and then also our other student organizations on campus, members of the Greek life community are definitely able to join as well. For SGA, we have several members who are involved in Greek life, and we also have members from the Greek life community who also serve in our executive branch. So it's definitely something that students are able to do, and we highly encourage it. A lot of the values that are in the Greek life community transfer over to SGA as well as other student organizations. And so you will see SGA out at Greek life orientations trying to recruit members. So if you are planning on joining Greek life, definitely look for SGA. We'd be more than happy to talk to you about how to get involved, and then also the balance of how to do both Greek life and then also SGA, or also just how you can be a part of Greek life and another organization.
Awesome. Thank you for clarifying that for us. Sergeant Williams, I will head back over to you. So we've talked a lot about preventing crime and staying safe on our campus, but we know that things happen sometimes, unfortunately. So say an incident does occur on our campus, what can a student do and who should they reach out to in that situation?
If some type of criminal offense happens on our campus, please reach out to us at the police department. If it's an emergency, of course, dial 911. And if you're on campus, that phone call will get directed to our dispatchers. We have our own communication center here at the police department. If you want to just call us directly, you can do that at 974-3111, and that comes straight to our police department. But if any type of criminal offense happens on campus, please reach out to us. An officer will be dispatched to wherever the student may be, to their location, and we'll talk to them, and we will go from there to provide whatever resources, help them get whatever resources they need from that point.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Brad, I'll head to you for maybe one last question. We've talked about some different organizations and clubs that students can be involved with as far as maybe like interest, just generally, but are there some clubs and organizations that are geared towards maybe academics or maybe future career paths that students can get involved in?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a whole long list of those organizations that students can get involved in. There's different departmental organizations or different academic organizations that they can look up on Vollink. So say they're a kinesiology major, there's a KNS org that they can join and be a part of that. There's different ones for different majors. So I would encourage them that if there's a specific one that they're looking forward to, go to that Vollink website, vollink.utk.edu, and look it up. And they'll have just different information about when their club meets, who their president is, who their vice president is. It's pretty well detailed on those pages. So therefore, they can go in, they can see what time that group meets, they can reach out to the president and ask more questions. And it's a really easy process for just getting them plugged in. So if there is an academic based club that they're interested in, that's how I would encourage them to look it up.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Panelists, we are about time, so I would love to end with a question for all of you. I know you've given some really great advice tonight, but I would like to go around and have each of you give our family members one last piece of advice as they get ready to move their students in. It's coming up. Before we know it, we will have a full crowd here on campus. So just kind of last words of wisdom that you have for our family members.
I'll jump in. Great question. And once again, so glad to have all of you joining us this evening. And certainly we want to continue to be helpful to you. I would say really, truly, again, whether your student is a first-year student or a transfer student, they are new to the University of Tennessee and they are new to the experience that we are offering. So let them go, let them be, let them explore, let them learn, let them fail a little, let them, kind of pick themselves up a little bit. I think do that knowing that we have so many wonderful people that are not only faculty and staff members, but also student leaders like Mark and others that are here to want to be with them, want to journey with them. And we see you as a very critical partner in that process. I always say that we measure our success based off of the success of our students and our families. And so anything that we can do to, again, be for that success, we will do whatever it takes to ensure your family and your student success and well-being here. But again, let them fly, let them go, and trust and know that we will do that. We will be there for them. Know also that you've known your student for all their lives, and we've only known them for a short period of time. So, but we also know student development, and we know the ways in which they will grow and the ways that they will prosper here and thrive here at the University of Tennessee. But we are so excited that you're bringing your family to the University of Tennessee. And one of the things I always tell family members too is, you're as much a Vol here as your student is, even if you never attended the University of Tennessee. So you have just as much opportunity here to be able to be part of this community and to benefit certainly from membership within it. But that would be my advice. Trust us. We're here, and again, we want to be with you in this process.
I would encourage them to just never be afraid to reach out to anybody on campus and try to talk with them if there's a particular interest, if there's any kind of question you have about anything. I would love to say that, and I believe that a lot of us are just extremely invested in making sure that student success is at the top of our list for things that we want to see happen here. We want to see you not only come in as a freshman or a transfer student, but also see you as a senior or a grad student, however it may be. We just want to see you succeed. Just encourage them to get involved in however that looks for them. Like we said earlier, everybody's different. Involvement looks different for everybody, but we all have people that care about every single one of these students here and want to make sure they succeed no matter what it is. So just encourage them to get involved and pursue their passions and just let us, take care of them however we can.
Yeah, to build off what Brad would say, I would just have to agree. Try and get involved as much as you can. I know it can definitely be an adjustment coming to such a large school as UT, but just try and get involved as much as you can. There's so many different resources and different opportunities at UT. And I've been really lucky to be able to participate in some of those. And some of the ones that I've been able to participate in are ones that I wouldn't have been able to find if I didn't go out and search for them or look for them. So definitely just when you get here, get excited and definitely don't be afraid to try new things, meet new people. Rocky Top is definitely a special place. And I hope you guys are excited to be a part of our new family. So.
Our number one priority as a police department is to keep everyone on this campus safe. And probably the most frequently asked question I get is campus safe? And that's a very simple question. And when I get asked that, I think about my own kids. I have a son and a daughter that are both seniors in high school this year. And I don't know where they will choose to attend college, but I hope they choose the University of Tennessee, because not only is it a great school, but I know all the safety and security features we have in place. And I know all the men and women that work for our police department that, like me, will do everything within their power to keep my kids safe and keep everyone else on this campus safe. And that is the best endorsement and most reassurance that I can give to any parent and any students when asked, is campus safe? So we look forward to having them, and we will do everything we can to keep them safe.
Awesome. Thank you so much, panelists, for sharing your resources, your services, and your advice with our family members. Before we close out, I would like to put up a slide that has all of the contact information for our offices. That way you can reach out, you can send them directly an email, give them a phone call. If you do have any extra lasting questions, please make sure to give us a call before you arrive on campus next week. Or if you don't give us a call before then, come and stop and see us in person. We would love to get your questions answered. We'd love to meet you. We would love to just help you feel so confident in your decision to send your student to UT. So family members, again, thank you so much for joining us for this final session of the Tennessee Family Series. Before we conclude for the night, I do have a few quick reminders. We would love if you would take a moment to fill out our session survey. You can follow the link in the chat box below, or you can find it in your post-session email. If you haven't already, please don't forget to complete the guest version of Vol 101. This is our online orientation modules. The link is vol101.utk.edu. You can create a guest account for that and complete it alongside with your student. And I would also encourage that if your student hasn't already, make sure they complete that program as well. It is required for them before the first day of classes on August 23rd. So make sure you get on that. And then we would love to stay connected with you and your family and encourage you to join the Tennessee Family Association. This will sign you up for the bi-weekly newsletters so you can stay up to date on all the important information happening here on our campus. Thank you again for joining us tonight. We had a great summer with you. We've covered a lot of information, and we are just so excited to have you here on our campus in just a few days. Have a great night and go Vols.